Well, there you go.
Leeds United made the most of their second chance in the European Cup against Stuttgart, the team they say has more foreign reserves than the Bank of England. Leeds won 2-1 in Barcelona in front of a tiny crowd. Their hero was Carl Schutt. He scored the winner less than a minute after coming on as a substitute, and tomorrow's his birthday.
Hey up, good evening. Now then, as things, how they doing? Hey up, and all the other Yorkshire phrases, we could welcome you to the show.
How do
in full Mel B style. Welcome to episode 161 of the Talking Shut podcast. We're brought to you tonight by our fantastic sponsors, the guys at The Athletic, bringing top quality football and other sport coverage. Our friends at Manscaped, looking after your knackers and various other areas you'd like to shave. And our friends who are bringing everything retro kit culture, the guys at the Terrace. Obviously, I'm back this week after a week off. I went to Newcastle a couple of days before the Leeds game, which was quite sad. I'm joined by Raggy. Good evening, mate. How are you doing?
Good.
I haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We've been like passing ships, haven't we? Has that been a conscious decision from you to make sure you're not around me?
Away from you. Yeah, for a while.
And I'm joined by Mike. Mike, the last time I saw you, you was walking off in a little bit of a huff towards the ticket office at Ellen Road, just prior to the Liverpool game. Would you like to tell the listeners why that was the case?
Yeah, because the turnstile was... I don't know if it was me being an idiot or the turnstile.
It was the turnstile?
Yeah, it was
I
the
can
turnstile.
confirm.
I scanned my ticket and then the guy in front of me pushed the turnstile so it like double spun. And then I couldn't get through. And then the stewards sent me to the ticket office.
But instead of the steward could see the ticket in your hand.
Correct.
But instead of letting you like scanning with my child who was stood in front of me and you could have both like squeezed through, they made you go to the ticket office.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Jobs impressive. Yeah, jobs. So as things, lads, anyway, I feel like a bit detached. I haven't seen you for a while, Rags. How's things?
Yeah, good. If it weren't for Leeds.
Yes, they are proving to be a bit of a drain at the moment, but we'll discuss that at greater length in a bit. Obviously, we're live down here at Ossett United, our new home. Don't forget, you can come down and have a beer with us and watch us record live and even get involved if you want. It's entirely up to you. So, yeah, please bob down if you can. We're live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. So if you're on any of them platforms at the moment listening to us, give us a thumbs up, smash a like, share it, subscribe, all that fun. In fact, yes, subscribe. It's amazing how many people watch this on a Wednesday and are not subscribing. So yeah, subscribe. Obviously, there's no Ben this week. He features in a segment later on, explaining where he is.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more pictures of Ben drinking around a pool while I'm having to go to work, if I'm really honest.
28 degrees at 11 a.m.
28 degrees at 11 a.m. But no, all joking apart, Ben's enjoying himself. He's probably tuning in right now from wherever, and he's not where that volcano's erupting, which is terrible. So let's start, lads, up at St. James's Park, the home of the Geordies. How did we feel going into the game? Purely because we discussed off air before we came on that we seem to have a bit of rotten luck at the moment with injuries. Koch missing, Llorente missing, the innocent man who was wrongly accused of crime, a heinous crime in Pascal Struijk missing.
Free Pascal.
Free Pascal. That's what we're starting. How did you feel going into the game? It felt...
Not to mention Harrison.
To mention Harrison with COVID, although it looks like he's having a terrible time. Lockdown working out with his good lady girlfriend and
his dog.
His dog.
Gorgeous dog. Yeah.
His Belgian Malinois dog. But purely on football now then, it felt a bit like a game that we needed to win just to try and ease some doubts.
It was one of them when it, like, in the build up to it, there was a bit of nerves there because obviously the kind of start we've had, obviously only picked up 2 points ahead of that game. They'd only picked up one. I predicted them to go down at the beginning of the season in our season things. That's a team that we should be beating.
Yeah.
Weve gone to Burnley and not beat them, so it felt like we should be going up there and winning.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of nerves towards that, but there was a bit of confidence. in the fact that I thought it would come together, and I thought we'd go out there and and win on the night. I genuinely did feel that. As the day progressed, obviously the rumours online about Harrison getting COVID, has Raf even travelled?
Bamford's legs,
and all this, and you're thinking, oh, gee, the worry starts to creep in. But by the time the team news comes out, and obviously Rafinha's starting, all right, we've missed out on Harrison. But you look at that and you think that's a good enough team to go and beat this Newcastle team. That's what I thought. And it kicks off, and you go,
sound.
That's brilliant.
Sound.
And the vast majority of that first half, you're going, we've been guilty of not putting a few chances away, but we're well in control of this game. And then just a bit of complacency and a bit of...
Well, before the game, me and Gaz, we said, like, this is where our season starts. Like, this is where we can kick on now.
Yeah.
And then we saw the lineup. Like you're saying, you look at our front five, like, they should... No problems whatsoever, I think we should tear them apart.
I think, and Philip Dorbreen's just actually popped it on. He says the spark has gone. Last season we would have been 3 or 4, and
it's that swagger and confidence, isn't it?
The golden thread for me that's run through every game this season is that at times we can't make a 5-yard pass.
Yeah.
At times we can't do the simple things, which is having an effect on the way that we're playing. But the first half at Newcastle, we looked a little bit back to Leeds United under Bielsa on the front foot.
Yeah.
We were breaking at them. They looked terrified every time we did break. And I think the criticism from the first half at Newcastle is how we're not 2 and 3-0 up. Well, I'll never know. We should have been 3-0 up before Alan St. Maximum scores that leveler. We should have been 2 or 3-0 up. We had chances to bury it.
100%, and also an absolute stonewall penalty denied.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, you talk about them looking scared when we ran at them. We also looked terrified as soon as St. Maximum ran at us, and that was concerning a little bit from a defensive point of view from us. And it told with the goal that they score. I mean, we're probably getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Obviously, we score 13 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's a great goal. It's well worked.
Clever from Rodrigo.
Very clever from Rodrigo, and also a great ball in. I don't think he's had that as a shot. I think he's put that as a ball in.
Oh, it's a cross every day a week. Yeah.
But you do what everyone asks you to do from that position. If you're crossing in from there, hit that back post.
Yeah.
Because keeper can't commit.
It asks a question, doesn't it?
Absolutely asks a question, and it's really, really clever from Rodrigo to go in there and jump over it.
Well, I was fully vindicated because I had been helping out my son's junior football team, and we did set pieces the week before. And I actually said, we were practicing some free kicks, and I says, on every free kick, just get someone running across the keeper. Someone across his eye line where he's got to think, oh, hold on, are they going to get on it?
Yeah.
Is your lads' junior team so modern that you are the free?
I am
coach?
essentially that set piece coach that we got. You remember that? Yeah. He literally got us 1 goal from Pablo down at Brentford. But anyway, the merit is still there. If you whip it into that area, you ask a question at keeper: do I come? Do I go? Is somebody going to touch it? Aren't they going to touch it? Yeah. And it makes it difficult. And Rodrigo's clever enough to realise the trajectory of the ball and the fact that he's going to have an effect that he obviously just gets out of the way of it and realises it's going to go in.
And then I mean. I can't remember who did it, and straight at the goalkeeper. He's got to do better from there. Obviously, the one that a lot of people were talking about, which was the Firpo one where he puts it over the bar.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do better.
He's got to do better. But in the build up to that, I mean, how many touches does Rafinha want in the box? I mean, it was asking for that shot to be blocked because you're like, you watch that replay, it gets to him, and you're like, hit it, just hit it,
Yeah.
just hit it. About
Yeah,
3 times you can
yeah,
tell
it
him
does,
to
yeah.
hit it, and then he eventually does, and they've
It's just
blocked
closing
it.
him
You know,
down.
it's-
Yeah.
There's a bit of guilt to that last night, and I will jump between the games, but Somerville breaks away, gives it to Roberts, and his first touch takes him wide, and then he hits the keeper with his shot. You know, I think that after how many games we played? 5 in Premier League now? 5 games?
5, yeah.
Like, I think it's probably playing into the players' minds a little bit that, do you know what? Like, we're struggling to it back at net here. And somebody mentioned in the comments, I think if we get a game where we get a couple, it'll settle us down. We're very Leeds circa 2018 at the moment, where we're loads and loads and loads and loads of possession, can't seem to find goal, get sucker punched down the other end. And by say sucker punch, that's not to say that we've not got a few issues defensively at the moment. But I'm also not surprised with the chopping, changing, injuries, no injuries. We saw last night against Fulham, KP having to play at centre back because literally Cooper pulled up with a groin or something prior, or travelled but weren't quite fit enough. And we've been torridly unlucky with injuries again. However, we've still not been good enough as yet. Yeah, but the signs are encouraging.
Yeah,
the signs
but that
are
first half
encouraging.
was really good. Like I say, I'm disappointed with the goal that we concede, but it should have been buried by then. You know, and let's talk about that penalty, because
I don't understand. I don't after this season. I don't understand refereeing. I don't understand VAR. I don't understand the application of the rules. I don't understand the review panel. I've never really bought into the Leeds rhetoric that we're ad done to. I do feel like we're ad done to, but sometimes it's easier when you've got your rose tinted glasses on. But the evidence continuously stacks up about how are we not getting them decisions. But yet you watch Match at Day, or you watch whatever your way of taking the games in on a Saturday, and you're seeing other teams, generally top 5 teams, who get them decisions. Like, you know, how, and I don't want to get on it, but I'm going to do it because I weren't here last week. How on God's green earth is Pascal Stroik getting sent off for that tackle after he waves play on the field? He waves play on, right? They throw him off, and you know something, like, I don't agree with it in the slightest, but I kind of think, his leg's on sideways. Refs panicked a bit. He's had Jurgen Klopp in his lug oil with his extremely bright teeth for like 5 minutes, telling him that he should send him off, and he's succumbed to peer pressure and sent him off. But then there's me thinking, you know, common sense will prevail. It'll go to a review board, and they'll see that there's absolutely no intent whatsoever for Pascal Stroik to catch Harvey Elliott. He's trying to hook the ball back around, and the natural body mechanics is that as his foot plants, the momentum's going one way, his body has to come round, and he gets a tangle of legs, and it's terribly unfortunate, and I feel really sorry for Harvey Elliott. But that's not a sending off. It's not a 3-match ban. It's just not. It's just not. I can't wax on about it enough. And going back about it again, Dan James and David Lofthouse says we never appealed the pen. It's like Bamford last year when he didn't go down, but was very clearly fouled, and he said, "So you're telling me I have to go down?" So what we're saying now is that the referees and VAR are that incompetent that we have to claim, scream, shout, and carry on for everything, because it's worked for Klopp. He's got Pascal sent off. He's got Pascal a 3-game ban, because the FA and the Premier League and the governing bodies don't want to lose face on the fact that they fucked up with their VAR, where really VAR should remove any semblance of doubt. That should be a fallback.
And about the whole appealing for the penalty in the Newcastle game, I mean, it's not like he's tried to stay on his feet. He's been hacked down.
He couldn't stay on his feet, could he?
In terms of the rest of the players around him, I mean, if they're going to throw hands up in it, we nearly concede from the counter-attack from that. St. Maximin does Cooper for pace down the outside. He cuts it across. Almiron air kicks it, fresh air. You know, if he connects with that, he puts it in, and it's 1-1 anyway. So you don't want players, you know, running around with their hands in the air when they need to be defending for you know, the counter-attack which ensues. What you want to do is think that is a blatant penalty. At least VAR are going to go, well, we'll have to have a look at that, because that look. I mean, it looked. I mean, Mike Dean is in a perfect position for me to see it. He obviously misses it. I do not understand how VAR cannot look at that and go, that's a clear and obvious error.
In this first 5 games, being a Leeds fan, and towards the end of last season, for me, the only way I see us stopping talking about this is if we hear the decisions that the ref's given. So if we just hear an instantaneous Mike Dean saying, ball's already gone, that it's a coming together, whatever. Even if we agree or disagree, it gives some semblance of what the rest.
just keeps stacking up and stacking up and stacking up.
Yeah,
You know?
and a few people mentioning here, Robert Mason, how did the penalty for Southampton against Man City get overturned? Because it's Man City.
Yeah,
I cannot. I'm a level-headed fan.
Yeah.
If anybody who's listening to this for a
Likewise.
while, they might be struggling.
Likewise,
but I'm a level-headed fan, and I am now beginning to wonder if there's some sort of rhetoric against Leeds United, because I just can't get it into my head how they can be so wrong. Like last night, even Tim Robinson last night for at the Fulham game. How does Joe Bryant leave that pitch not getting booked?
Yeah.
4 or 5
That
times,
ref.
cynical fouls, pulling people back, leaving a bit in, being a bit shitty. Like
that ref,
I just don't get it.
He let Fulham clobber us for the whole 90 minutes, and so that just. And again, you're talking about endangering players. A referee is also there to make sure players don't get injured.
Do you know something as well?
Yeah, but you let it build up and build up and build up, frustration build up, and then somebody does get clattered properly.
The wider conspiracy for me with Struijk, I know we're going back to Struijk, but the wider conspiracy with me is Jurgen Klopp has banged on about it since the season started about players and getting the deals and all this type of stuff. And then that happens with Harvey Elliott, and it kind of vindicates him, because he suddenly goes, "Oh, there you go, look, there's proof. One of my players got their leg broke," and it's like they're never going to back down. It's the injustice of it all. Anyway, shall we talk about the rest of the Newcastle game?
But you know what? And just to go back from that Klopp thing, it was his pissing and moaning was never about endangering of players. He knew that was going to level the playing
sporting
field.
advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Level the playing field a little bit more.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden they don't get those
Put 50p in the meter.
So, as you've noticed, we're back. Yeah, we're having some struggles with the Wi-Fi at the moment down at Ingfield. I'm not too sure why. We had a bit of an issue last week, but now we've got more issues this week. So it's not ideal, but we'll keep plugging away.
Yeah.
So sorry, back to Fulham. Should we talk about Fulham? Happier times because we won that game.
Yeah. Well, we technically won. We won the tie.
We won.
Yeah.
We drew
We're through.
drew the game.
We got 3
We're through,
points in the Bull Spunk Cup, so we're through.
Oh.
What's up, Mike? You're not a fan of that word, are you?
Well, yeah, no, I just call it the League Cup because I'm an old fart, I suppose.
But
milk cup.
Coca-Cola Cup.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola Cup.
Yeah.
Still scarred from that.
What was the one where Leeds played Man U back in like 1992?
Oh,
Rumbelows.
Rumbelows. Where you could buy like some trainers and pay for them until you're 75. That one. Yeah. Fulham then down at that place. Strange set of fans. I saw a bloke in a crushed velvet jacket wearing a cravat at one point, which each to their own. But
it does prove that the London curse is officially broken. By the way,
is it? Oh yeah, of course. I didn't think of it that way.
The hoodoo.
I was just kind of happy to get out of there with a victory, to be honest.
Yeah. It would have been ridiculous if we'd have bottled a penalty shootout again.
Yeah. So major news from the lineup was obviously Somerville started. No, Patrick Bamford left up in Leeds to sort of have a bit of a rest, I think.
Yeah.
Calvin starts at centre back. Debut for Charlie Creswell. Fairport at left hand side. Dallas at the right. Baby Shack in the holding. And then Klitsch and Rodrigo with Tyler leading the line. We said off air before we started, I thought Jamie Shackleton was excellent in that holding midfield role when he first started, particularly for the first 15-20 minutes. I thought he was outrageous. Yeah, he was really good.
Somewhat different to Phillips, but I think you don't want to say equally as effective. But he's not got the strength, but he's nimble, agile, can turn on the ball, distribute. He's got a turn of pace that Phillips doesn't necessarily have. Yeah, absolute revelation.
Opens the passing games up.
Yeah, and he's a Leeds lad. So
engine for days. Yeah, really good.
Batty, Phillips, and Shackleton.
Special props to the children because we had to play some children because a lot of the grown-ups are dead.
Bring out the sprog.
Charlie Creswell.
Yeah.
Superb. Now, he was absolutely outstanding against a good Fulham side, and that Moon is that guy from the film Goal who were playing up front for Fulham. He was particularly physical. He liked to leave a bit on, and he was like, he was just a bit of a twat, to be honest. And he marshaled him really well. One slight misdemeanor where he dillies on the ball a bit, gets closed down, but he rectifies it. Other than that, not a foot wrong all night. Wins 99% of his headers. Top class.
When you're thinking in terms of levels as well, because he had a bit of a shaky debut, didn't he? Was he
Hull?
Yeah,
against Hull.
It was Ollie Casey I was thinking of that played against Huddersfield. Bit of a shaky debut, but in terms of levels of progression and into the senior side, when you're playing against Fulham, who were a top championship side, borderline Premier League side, you can't ask for more.
Jimmy Somerville, bright, but then guilty towards the end of the game. I think he got a bit tired of just being a little bit slack.
I think
a few balls bouncing off him and stuff.
A bit achy from being clobbered by
Joe Bryan.
Yeah, all game. Just absolutely closed.
An improvement on his Newcastle performance.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his debut against Newcastle was very much a safe debut. Expecting him to influence a game where we weren't right in it second half.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we failed to take our chances again. Rodrigo guilty, Tyler guilty, a few guilty of missing gilt-edged edge chances.
Yeah.
And again, it following a similar pattern in it.
Primarily, the lads in the centre. I couldn't really fault the wingers. Dan James and Somerville, I couldn't really fault because they were the ones creating the chances. I think they were the ones you could tell that were giving it everything, really. Having to come back to defend as well. Dan James defensively has been really impressive.
And the thing is, as well, Dan James had a helicopter flight before the game because he didn't give birth to a little baby boy, but his wife, girlfriend did. Yeah. So congratulations to the James family on their new bundle of arrival.
I'm just surprised with the injury crisis we've had. He didn't bring the kid with him. And
he could have got to be honest, he would have still been one of the elder statesmen on the bench at the time.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, he played 90 minutes and he scored in the penalty shootout.
He's just got a professional head on him.
I mean, it's just it goes to show kind of how at bare bones we are at the minute. The fact that we ask him to do that, and obviously, his attitude to be able to do that, and it's hats off to him because a lot of things come before your job. And family is definitely one of them.
Oh yeah,
and it's testament. Sometimes as fans, you kind of think, well, no, football is the,
be all and end all.
Is the be all and end all. But it's not. It's a job to them. So yeah, I mean that's massive commitment, and he definitely seems to have his head screwed on right, and the attitude. We.
Really, there's technical issues we're having at the moment. It's beyond our control. It is literally the Wi-Fi is dropping in and out quite a lot, which is terrible, to be honest. Gavin Wincello, says, are we unlucky with injuries, or have we just made a few people made of glass signings in Llorente and Koch and can't see this just being a recurring issue through the season? The thing is with that is I think you'd have to go deeper than just this season and go, right, so how many injuries did Koch have over the last 4 years? How many injuries did Llorente have over the last 4 years? Because as we've proven they've passed our strict medicals. Yeah, and that's what we're going to get to. Michael Coulson's had like an ingrowing toenail, and we sacked it off signing him. So obviously we don't sort of we're not signing Grandy and Goy again with his knees on backwards and just going it'll work out. When it
and again, like what Koch's out with at the moment, it's not a muscular thing.
He's broke his cock. I mean, he's broke his pubis, hasn't he?
Pubis is a bone. Yeah. Like you can't. That's not to do with training. That's an impact.
Jim Ogden says 5,500 fans last night in London as well. Good effort.
Yeah,
good.
Solid. Pretty much, and I think there were plenty in their home end as well. So pretty much
all of
more than 50% of the ground on a Tuesday night in the Bull Spunk Cup.
Yeah. Mike likes that word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's unbelievable effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Jason Taylor says stick 50p at meter, guys. We have done. Yeah. Sorry about that. Nat Clark says, what's going off? It's not my Wi-Fi yet. Sorry again. Jim Ogden, 10 bob at meter. Yep. A few people complaining about the stream. I am really sorry. I don't know why it's like this. Ben will be sat on some beach somewhere laughing now, going, wouldn't have happened if I were there. But we'll see. On to Fulham again. He's
tampered with it.
I think he's sat there now in wherever he is, fiddling about, killing us. So we brought the children on in the game. We saw Joe Gellar make his long-awaited debut. It's been much shouted for on the old social media box, especially after he slaughtered Liverpool single-handedly the other day with a goal from the halfway line and the thunder bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
Channeled is in a ton of your bower.
There were a couple, weren't there, that were pretty long range.
Pretty sexy ones.
Sexy football.
And we saw Stuart McKinstry, who looks like a child, genuinely looks like a child. But obviously well thought of. And he did well when he came on, to be fair.
When he was coming on, and Bielsa's in his ear going, do this, do that. And he's just there like the work experience lads, just like, all right. Yeah. Well, yeah. All right.
And obviously he's one of your compatriots, isn't he? As well?
Yeah. He's got a better, more convincing surname.
Easy, more Scottish than you, Mike.
Probably.
I'm
a Muggle. I'm a, what is it?
Half blood.
I'm cursed.
Obviously, Somerville had already started the game, and then lo and behold, it goes to the old penalty kicks. How did you feel about the old spotteroos? I weren't very confident.
I got a bit sweaty.
Yeah,
and a bit clammy.
With the Iceman in goal, it was always going to
I said to Judd, my son.
You know he's going to save 1 or 2, don't you? You
Yeah.
know he's going to do something.
I said to Judd, my son, I said, look, just temper your expectations here.
Yeah.
I've not seen us win many penalty shootouts,
No.
in all honesty. But I was like,
Yeah.
just temper it, kid. You know, we'll be okay. My
Yeah.
favorite words.
So
We'll
dramatic.
be okay. So you know, loads of really good penalties. Junior Firpo, who's coming for a lot of criticism recently. I get the feeling with Firpo that he just needs a bit of time.
Yeah.
Just needs a bit of time. Not played much at Barca. Said he fell out of love with game. Just needs a bit of time. He looks rusty. I mean, he passed it to the drinks man about 3 times in first half, where I was like, okay, this is not just a mistake anymore. This is a wind up.
I was counting it, mate.
Yeah.
I think I got to 4 or 5, and then I was like.
But the thing is, I think with Firpo is, yes, he's got that at the moment. He has these
he was
issues.
trying to get it forward.
But every now and again, he does something and you go, oh, he can play a bit. And the penalty sums that up because a plum, I think, is the safe phrase. Joffrey, our mate Galaz stepping up. He's had a bit of a mixed bag in the 23s.
He's had a mixed thing on
he used to do
records for the 23s.
Jorginho jumpy thing in me, Bob, for a bit, and that proved quite unsuccessful.
The jump and scoop.
But wow, what a penalty! Absolute thunder bastard. And then young McKinstry, up for school early next morning, had to be, you know, in bed early, but takes his penalty aplomb. And then the Iceman, as Rags mentioned, who was mocking the Fulham fans, which made me laugh even more.
I wish he was mic'd up because he was giving the Fulham players stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, your sister messaged me on Instagram. Like, I think he was doing all that stuff. Like, he
actually said to one of them, "You're putting it down there."
Yeah,
he did. You're putting it down there, and he didn't.
Can we skip to the end where he just turned at the Fulham fans and just stood there like?
Yeah, I love it. But the Fulham fans are not going to do it, are they?
No,
most of them were Leeds fans anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was particularly happy to see Joe Bryan blaze one over after just kicking all our players for a bit and getting away with it a little bit.
He's gone down. I mean, I used to rate him. I think he was in a couple of seasons. He was in our championship team of the season, wasn't he?
Yes. He was. He was in a quite successful Bristol City side that we forget some of the players had. It were Joe Bryan, Aidan Flint, granted, is a clogger now at Cardiff, but Brian Kent was in that team. Yeah. You know, they had a lot. Josh Brownhill, who's now at Burnley, so they had a very good championship side for what it were, and Brian was a mainstay in that. And I think we got linked with him a bit, didn't we? But it never worked out.
To see him reduced to just a
kicker merchant,
a knuckle dragger. Yeah, shame.
Yeah. So a few comments then. After I kick the fucking mic over, right tonight.
There was one about, do we want a cup run?
Yeah, so after the start of the season, 5 games into the Premier League, it's been indifferent, I think it's been poor. It's not been indifferent. I'm not even going to try and dress it up. It's been crap. Yeah. Do we now still want a cup run?
So last night, I was like, especially when what I was following it on was like, Dallas is down again. And I was just like, you know what? We should have just played the fucking under 18s. And I want us to lose today and just... by watching the penalty shootout and winning it, I was, singing Wembley.
Wembley. I saw your tweet. Wembley.
Yeah. It's one of them. Look, I think there was a stat that got mentioned in the Sky Sports coverage of the penalty shootout that Leeds are the team that's been knocked out of the League Cup more than any club in the third round.
Yeah.
And it just says it all, you know what I mean? Like, when was it, we haven't been to the final since 96, got absolutely battered by Villa.
I still remember crying. On my bed.
I can't even remember the last time we got anywhere near the semi, anything.
When we're at last 16 now, aren't we?
So it's one of them. But on the flip side of it, we're in the last 16.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, we haven't had a really crap start to a league campaign. Yeah. Obviously, it goes without, if someone comes to you now and says you can win the League Cup, but you go down, or you can, go out the next round and you stay up, you're taking the stay up.
Absolutely.
Every day. Because of the importance of staying in the league. So you don't want it to detract. It shouldn't. It should never detract a team as focused as a Bielsa side. But with the injuries that we have, it could become a bit of a worry.
Yeah, there's sort of pragmatism in there, and then
I think we said, didn't we, beginning of this run of games, that the important sort of run of games were these run of games. So Newcastle now is a draw. West Ham coming up on the Saturday. Then we've got Watford and Southampton. You know, just because we got a draw against Newcastle, it's not the end of the world. You know, we're coming up against a good West Ham side on Saturday, which we'll talk about shortly. But, you know, we could still come out of this and suddenly be going, yeah, we'll have a fucking cup run. Look how good we are now. We're mid-table because we've had a turn of events. And I was beginning to get a bit worried. I messaged a few people thinking, okay, I'm a bit worried this season. Like, you know, it doesn't seem to be going our way and all that type of stuff. But over the last 2 games, we've had 45 minutes in either game of decent performances. Looked a lot more like the Leeds United of last season that scared a lot of teams. And I think that if we can join that up, get a bit more defensively solid with the settled back four, we'll be all right. We'll be more than fine. We'll be all right.
And that's what it is. And but the disappointment is obviously we don't want to be more than all right. You know, we want to be pushing on. We want progression from finishing ninth. Obviously, that's a bit greedy, and you've got to temper your reality and everything.
Yeah,
it's a good point you make there, guys, about 45 minutes and everything like that. Because in the league, I'm not really talking about the cup games now, but in the league, we haven't really seen a decent second half performance in any game.
Yeah,
in any game. Obviously, Scum, we go to pieces. Second half.
I think you'll find Crew Alexandria was
yes, very comprehensive
in the league.
So that debunks your theory.
No, in the league. Everton. I thought second half until we made changes, we looked lost in that game.
Yes,
until the changes. Yeah. Burnley. That second half at Burnley, it for me is even worse than the second half at Scum.
It is, but like my kind of thinking of the Burnley game was like. You're not going to meet. There's no other team like Burnley in that league.
But what I'm
anti-football.
Yeah, I get that, guys.
Kickers.
I get that, guys. But and I'm not just talking about Burnley in particular. But there were lots of games last year. Lots of games where we were getting battered first half.
Yeah, true.
But you knew second half this will be a different side that comes out. And in every game there, we're 1-0 down at Old Trafford. We're 0-0 at we're 1-1 against Everton at half time. We're 0-0 at Burnley. We're 1-0 down against Liverpool. We're 1-1 at Newcastle. We're not out of a game. We've not been outclassed the first half in any game, yet we haven't even turned up second half in virtually any of those games. Liverpool game's a bit of an anomaly, and Everton as well. So they're your 2 home games. So you kind of expect that, but especially away from home, second half. Yeah, I'm looking Burnley and Newcastle in particular. Really, really disappointing, and not what you expect. You expect us, especially in those games where you're expecting us to win the game. Second half performance has been flat as fuck. Sky Sports were waxing lyrical about the game because it was end to end. Yeah, it was end to end, but it was only from Newcastle's point of view. It was because of one man, and we looked shit scared in dealing with him, and we couldn't. And I mean, it's all. I mean, he is a good player, absolutely, but you made him look like Messi. You made him look like. It was impossible to get the ball off him, and maybe it is, but I don't know. But the rest of that, we were in complete control. Yeah, and you're thinking, just take it to the next level, and we come out and we're flat as fuck. No, I don't understand. I really don't understand. So we need to move that. We need some way of going, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, and I don't know whether it's players. I can't imagine us, ever being told to take the foot off the gas second half. That's not the way Bielsa plays. There's
been a few personal poor performances from individual players, I would say. And I saw some a little bit earlier. I mean, I messaged Adam Stocks of Gone Off on a Tangent podcast because when he's at the away games, I'm like his VAR. So he messages me and says, "What's happened with that tackle?" Because he's in the ground and don't always see it. And Adam Barlow, shout out to him. He was mine at Liverpool as well with the strike challenge. But point I was,
how the hell do you get a signal?
I'll tell you off air.
Is it better than the one in here?
Fuck me, probably, yeah. Well, I've put coat hanger up on roof now, so we should be all right. I've lost my train of thought now, Rags, with your band. Sorry. It's gone. Oh,
Adam Stock.
I think this year that we're making an active decision to play longer, quicker. Yeah. I've noticed a lot more diag balls, trying to get in behind. And I saw someone or somebody talking about whatever, I can't remember, saying that clubs have worked Leeds out. Stop Calvin Phillips playing, you stop Leeds playing. So I thought, I've seen it now on a few occasions, that diagonal ball looking for James and Rafinha and whoever's been playing in wide areas very, very early on. and I think it's to try and variate the play, but it's not always working at the minute, if that makes sense. And I think it's kind of like we get into the second half, we try that a few times, that don't come off, and we kind of then run out of ideas. And then the individual performances of certain people then comes to the floor and can't make 5-yard passes, can't win an header, can't make simple passes, delivery into box poor, delivery from set pieces poor, missing gilt edge chances, all that type of stuff. And the other bit I was going to mention is in the comments, somebody's put, Stuart Dallas has got long COVID. Now, I watched him last night at Fulham and I messaged Stocksy straight away and I said, he looks injured to me. He got turned in the first 5 minutes and a ball got delivered into the box from Fulham. And he genuinely looked like he would turn it Titanic. And now that's not Stuart Dallas. He's good on the back foot. Yeah. So, you know, I do think he's had a slow start to the season, but there's obviously been this thing where he left Northern Ireland camp because of some personal issues. But he don't look the same player. And that's not because I think, I don't really buy into the rhetoric that people think, oh, he's done for now, that's it.
No.
Because I think he'll, but there's something not right. Same with Luke Ayling as well. There's something not quite right. And then you throw that into the mix with Tyler Roberts again, it's a podcast in itself, not quite right in one way or another. And I'm not going to get into it because it's so dividing in social media. I've made my place pretty clear on it that I've kind of get up on Tyler Roberts. I get the 22-year-old, you know, get this an international, all that type of stuff. And I've defended him on here before. I desperately want him to be successful. But
that's his job.
It's the same problem over and over again.
Back over,
exactly, And I want nothing more than him to win us back over. I'd love him to start. Well, I wouldn't love him to start, but if he started on Saturday against West Ham and scored 2 goals, I would sit here next week and praise him if he had a good game. Not in the game of just digging people out and saying the shit, get rid of him. But I think he's had enough chances to prove that he's got something, and he consistently doesn't.
But I get that. I'm not going to defend his performances because I thought he was really poor, especially second half against Newcastle. But is it just a few poor performances? But is there something wrong within the squad? You know, that we keep doing this from the second half because it's unlike what we saw last season. It's unlike what we saw the season, but you know, the promotion season. You know. We usually started slowly, in those games, and in second half, we always saw a reaction,
but we haven't listened,
and we haven't seen.
It's been the other way around.
I know it's 5 games in. I'm just obviously I'm nitpicking, but we sat here with 3 points from a possible 15.
And the thing is, mate, we're only talking about what the feeling is across the board. You know what I mean? It's just some people, you know. I wish Jim Ogden stopped giving secrets away about how you get a phone signal in Ellen Road. Come on, Jimo. We've talked about this.
Delete that.
3G, not 4G.
Right.
Because it's run on frequencies. A lot of people are on 4G. Okay. So you're all on the same frequency. Get rid of that, get on 3G. You get through.
All right.
I hope nobody else
now
of the 2,000 people who download this, I hope nobody else heard that. But anyway, back to the point in hand. I think we're only articulating, and by articulating that we're a bit concerned doesn't mean that we're doomed for relegation. We're fucked. This and other. But there is something fundamentally not right at the minute. Now, the positive spin on it is, and I thought it was very telling in Bielsa's comments after Fulham last night, because it wasn't good enough, but we were quite effective first half. But for him to turn around and say, that wasn't good enough, it shows that it will rankle Marcelo Bielsa. You know, we've known before, plan B is plan A done better. That's his famous saying, or translated into that way. But like, if there's gonna be someone who'll do something about this current poor slump, it will be him. So, you know, not quite throwing baby out with bathwater just yet, but there is something not quite ticking at the moment, and it's up to him really, and you know, him and his coaching staff, and I believe he will do it, and I believe that the players who are having a bit of a bad time at the moment will turn it around. But
I agree.
But I also believe that we sit as fans and us on this podcast that, you know, we can have a bit of a, we're not happy and things should be better.
Well, to go back to the original question about the cup run as well,
that we ran off on about 45 minutes ago.
As fans, we deserve it. I think we're not expecting to get to the final, but quarter final.
Yeah, mate, a trip to Wembley in semi. Do we do semi in League Cup?
Yeah.
It rumbles. We go to Wembley, don't we? In semi.
Yeah, the semi-finals are neutral.
No, it's two-legger.
Oh, of course it's shitty two-legger, isn't it? It's FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley, which I don't agree with. No. It should be at Villa Park and Old Trafford, because that's how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, no. Semi-final in League Cup is home and away.
And with injuries as well, like Dallas can get injured last night against Fulham, or he can get injured against West Ham.
Oh yeah,
You know, it's just a part of the.
yeah.
It's just one of them. It's
in
just
the Championship, we used to play 2 games a week, 3 games a week anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so adding a cup game in once a month, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big. If anything, it's probably better.
Like Raggy says, it's only that big if we fail to stay up because of a cup run. If that makes sense.
But the amount our players train compared to how much they work on in a game, the training is more intense than the games. So replacing the training with a game and then getting a recovery day after is probably better. You know what I mean?
No such thing as a recovery day in Bielsa.
Well, ice baths and massage.
So
and even if we went to the final, it's only 4 more games.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
In last 16, last 8, last 4, last 2, 4 games.
True. Liam G. Pity we hold on. Pity we don't have a guy like Pablo who could come in the last 10-15 minutes and change things up.
A decrepit old Pablo.
I get the sentiment that we haven't got a game changer on the bench, but I don't know if Pablo's the answer.
Where does it end? You know, when you go, oh, should we get Roof back or Janssen back? I've seen people saying, oh, we could have done with Janssen. You know, it's just like
Alison and Marty Adams.
Creativity.
Being told there's a split in the camp. Rodrigo not liked, arrogant, and wants a number 9 ahead of Paddy Bamford. Tried to get Rafinha on side, but he's liked by everyone. Watch the body language.
Been told by whom?
Yeah, this has been addressed by someone else who's sort of well placed, shall we say, and said that that's not the case at all. And do you know something? I don't think Bielsa would wear that. No matter who it is. We saw it with Pablo. We saw it with Pablo. He bombed Pablo.
Rodrigo and Rafinha were quite heavily involved in that interview with Dallas at the Player of the Year award thing, and everyone seemed very happy and matey in that.
Rodrigo would not be playing if there was a split. You know, if there was a beef or whatever.
Yeah, Marcelo won't wear that.
Janssen, Pablo, even
the other thing with Rodrigo, and you know, we've seen a mixed bag of him in terms of performances this season. He's been hooked a few times quite early in games. Doesn't kick off about it.
Yeah, it just comes off. Yeah.
Just comes off. You know, if he's that sort of player, you would expect. And people read that, you know, 2 ways. If a player gets hooked and he's pissing and moaning, some people, well, I want a player to be pissed off that he's coming off, but you can be pissed off, but not, you know,
in the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not being funny as well, but there's a couple of points. But this season, for Rodrigo to hypothetically be going, I'm a superstar, score some goals then, dickhead.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking hypothetically, but I don't know how he can even. I'm not. This is not true, by the way. We're not saying it's true because we don't know it's true.
Those things that happens when the season's going a bit poorly, and all these bollocks rumors get started, or you know, exes shagging Dallas's wife. Or
whoa, Mike, steady on. But no, on a serious note, somebody has put in here. Alison and Marty Adams again. Also, Stuart Dallas has had COVID, but he's also lost his best friend recently. So wow.
There you go. It's just, you know,
they are humans at the end of the day. Yeah. Jim Ogden says we're a midfielder light, but that's a whole podcast in itself. Yeah, we're not going to open 100%. That can of worms now because we'll not get the lid back on. Yeah. So we better hear from one of our sponsors before we get into looking at the West Ham game at the upcoming weekend. Terrace Mike over there. Terrace Mike. What's happening in the world of the Terrace? Do we need to add your boss to the shit house of the week for making you do Fulham stuff on the day of the Fulham game? Carl, if you're listening, which I know you're not, but I'll text you later anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. It depends if I want to get paid this month. The Terrace. Well, winter's coming in, so we just released
Bobblats.
No, blackout hoodies.
I did see them actually. The rose gold, crested ones. Very nice.
For each club, we're doing 50 each.
Oh, yeah?
And then depending on demand,
can you give me the front of queue?
If you retweet our tweets and take part in all our competitions,
I always retweet your tweets. Yeah. Carl will attest to that. I was stood at the side of him when he tweeted one out, and I retweeted it straight away.
I'm sure Carl will sort you.
Carl hooked me up. I like a bobble hat. I've got a lot of Terrace bobble hats.
I'd love a bobble hat.
In fact, where are my Terrace bobble hats? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
different news.
On the back.
Yeah, what can you say about the Terrace? Honestly,
what else is going off? So loads of clubber. There's loads of obviously other club official link ups and stuff.
Yes.
What else is occurring? They can't talk about because they're not official.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what can you say? Anything Leeds retro you can think of, we do it. And all the, your favourite Leeds artists, Burley Banksy, Gabby Wood, Tom Spark. We work with those. We champion grassroots artists. We champion fan culture as well. There's a fantastic feature, the request a kit feature.
Yes, I like that.
Buy your mug, because again, the whole thing with the Terrace is it's driven by fan demand, by what fans want, and you get free personalisation on any kit mugs as well. Another nice touch, if you want your name or a certain player's name, number, you can customize them for free. It's, you've got towels, bar runners, anything to, homeware, cushions, nice new fleece blankets, actually. They look really nice.
Nice.
I won't mind that. If you're snuggling up with your significant other.
Or Raggy.
Mug with my face on it.
Yeah, mug with Raggy's face on it.
Every morning drinking out of my face.
Did you just scowl at me?
I do literally drink out of Raggy's face on most mornings.
Yeah.
You can do it too at home.
Mike, have you got a Raggy's face to drink out, Mike?
I haven't. I'd love one though. I'd love that.
We need to
$8.99. It's a bargain.
Yeah.
It's a bargain.
I don't.
And also,
Nothing
any talking shut stuff you buy off the Terrace, because we've got a couple of things on there. We've got an Alcide one. We've got a Terrace coaster. Talking shut coaster, talking shut mug. Raggy's face. We don't get any money from that.
Nope.
We give it to charity. Any money we would have got, we give to charity because we're nice like that.
I mean, there has been the ongoing, I call it like a scheme. I don't want to say scheme, but the ongoing thing with the defibrillators.
Yes.
With the keychains. If you buy a keychain, the money goes towards providing defibs to lower league clubs who simply cannot afford them. And it's proven that it saves lives.
Absolutely. Bang on with that. So yeah, terracestore.com. Get all your retro kit stuff, and make sure you subscribe and follow them on their various social media channels, and you'll see some of the wonderful graphics done by our very own Terrace Mike. Yeah, some good stuff, mate. Your shit is incredible. Not your actual passing of bowel movements.
I thought you were just going to say your shit.
Yeah, your graphics. Your graphics are very good.
Terrace Mike, your shit.
I actually said when I talk to other people about graphics, I always say my mate's a graphic designer and he's really good. Look what my mate can do. Yeah. Whereas I put Charlie Cresswell's head on someone from Scooby Doo last night, and Marco Silva's head on the Ghost, and I was very chuffed with myself. To be honest,
I laughed at the meme, but then there's a little part of me that goes, "That's not on brand."
Yeah, and mate,
put our logo on it.
When I posted it on the Instagram, as soon as I pressed go and then put my phone on Do Not Disturb, went to sleep, I thought, Mike's not going to sleep tonight. It's not on brand. Sorry, I get carried away every now and again. I'll stop doing it, Mike, I promise.
No, don't stop doing it.
I get carried away.
Of what makes us. I was going to say special.
What, my freelancing?
Yeah.
I'm fucking definitely special. So yeah, the terracestore.com. Big thanks to Carl and all the guys at the Terrace, continuously looking after us, and they've been with us since day dot. Day dot. So yeah, chuff with them. Looking forward to the weekend then. West Ham blowing bubbles around Ellen Road on Saturday.
Saturday 3 o'clock.
Saturday 3 o'clock. Back in the ground. I'm up in East Stand-Upper, where I was other end from Liverpool. Yes, big thanks as well to a few people who emailed me offering to sort my ticket issue out. So top shout outs to them, Simon, Tufts, and a few others. Thanks for that.
I've kind of changed my mind about the East Stand-Upper.
It's great. I like it.
I love it out there. I don't think the tickets. I think the ticket should be a tiny bit cheaper.
Yeah, £46 for an adult is a little bit extortionate.
Yeah, when you're up in the nosebleeds, but the views fantastic. Incredible. If you get the seats right, you get a perfect view of the whole game. Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough game on Saturday. I think we can pretty much he's really got them playing quite well, and
they're playing at the minute. Let's see what
they're playing at the minute. They're playing Scummers, aren't they?
They're playing Scummers in the Bull Spunk Cup.
I'm forever blowing spunk bubbles.
And they're currently 1-0 up.
Are they? Who scored? Souček corner.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Kick it to Souček's head.
Yeah.
Lanzini after 9 minutes.
I know Lanzini. Does he even still play for them? I mean, the thing is, they've got
a few players.
So what is this?
They've got Titman in goal.
Have they? Areola, Titman's gone there. Titman.
Yeah. Johnson. Who's Johnson who plays?
Ben Johnson, young lad. Yeah, like a bit of a prodigy. He's quite good on Football Manager.
Craig, is that Craig Dawson?
Yeah, he's 800. They put him in an hyperbaric chamber after every game to make sure he can play the next one.
Diop. Fredericks has had to go off.
That's it.
minutes. So
He don't play normally though anyway.
Sue fouls on for him.
Could do him getting injured. He's a good player.
Midfield, they've got Kral, Masuaku, Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Noble, and Bowen.
Antonio on bench?
No, he's banned though, isn't he?
Is he banned for us though?
No, he missed it. Is he?
No, I think he is, isn't he?
I don't know. I tried to find some team news out today, but I've been busy and I couldn't find anything.
I thought he had a 3-match ban, which would have been.
Well,
he played
Russell,
against
Russell
played
here.
in Europe, but obviously he'll be banned in the British games.
Russell here says, let's say this about West Ham. I'm thinking of Captain Antonio this week in my fantasy football. Got a feeling it could be an hammering. No, I don't know. I don't feel that. I never go into a game thinking we're going to get hammered, to be honest.
No. Didn't he get a 3-match ban?
I can't remember. Yeah, he got sent off after the whistle. I can't remember. Anyway, might be Antonio, might not. But 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss from their first 5 games. But they are competing on a few fronts. Europe, Bullspunt Cup at the moment. And they've obviously got a less day's rest compared to us and our injury-depleted, COVID-riddled side.
This season is just attrition, isn't it?
It feels that way at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Rags, how do you feel going in against West Ham?
It's one of them. Like you say, you look at it, and the 2 games you had expected us to have won this so far this season, which is your Burnley and Newcastle, because we didn't, because we got draws in those. You worry about a team like West Ham, who obviously had a great season last year, did the double over us in both games. You know, did well.
Effectively,
they were effective against us.
Oh yeah.
But it might be a good time to play them with the fact that, like I say, they're playing in Europe now. We'll just have to see. I'd expect, and one thing's for certain, and we saw that against Liverpool. The crowd aren't going to get on the backs of these players.
No,
we could go. The crowd are going to be there. They're going to be well up for it on Saturday.
Yeah,
and I fancy us.
I fancy us a little bit. I fancy us. And
I've been quite critical of Leeds so far this season. Well, I haven't been particularly happy with them. Yeah. It comes to sitting here on a Wednesday, and I get my frustrations out. And by the end of it, I'm going, we'll win fucking 3-0.
I think what we've always tried to do on the show, and people will say different, is we've always tried to look at it from both perspectives and try and put a positive spin on it. But I think we found the balance of, if it's poor, we'll say it's poor.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the silver lining is, for all these games, is we are creating chances.
Yes, that's the thing for me.
If we weren't creating chances, then you'd be like, fucking shit. But,
yeah. I remember watching that Leeds side in a preseason friendly against Nuremberg. We probably had some PE teacher in charge, and we created absolutely nothing over 90 minutes, not a single shot on target. And I remember thinking, it's going to be a long season, this fucker.
Yeah.
Whereas at the minute, I ain't got that feeling just yet. It's going to be much more difficult than it were last year. That's not even in doubt. But I'm not that worried yet. Shall we get your predictor thing with Bob doing?
Yeah.
Raggy's predictor.
So we all predicted Leeds United to beat Newcastle, so no one got any points in that. Although Ben did predict a 1-1 at Fulham.
Did it?
Although he was after a bonus point for saying Fulham would then win the penalty shootout. So I reckon we don't even
give him any points for being the shootout.
So he gets a point for that. So Mike's still out in the lead on 6.
Go on, Mike.
Ben on 4. Gary 3.
Slow start, a bit like
me.
Leeds.
I did miss 4 games, so
it's your fault.
It's my fault. Ben's already given his prediction via proxy. He reckons 1-1 at Saturday. Mike, you are leading. You can go first. How do you see it?
No pressure, Lilac, Mike.
I'd rather not say.
Well, you've got to. It's part of the game.
This is the prediction game.
If I go against Leeds, is that allowed?
Yeah, I said Fulham a beat.
Robert Mason says if you go for a West Ham win, then we might actually win. Reverse psychology.
Yeah. You know what? I'll do that.
You good for that, mate?
What was it when they last played? Was it 2-1 at Helen Road? I think it was 2-1, wasn't it?
I think we did us. Was it 2-0 at their place?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
No, we scored. Yeah, but
I can't remember.
Ours, we scored that penalty, didn't we? I think 2-1 West Ham. Fuck it. It's a win-win. you know, yeah, because
it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
I
I'm
guess
going to get a fucking
I'm gonna
point
clip
on my predictor.
I'm going to clip that up.
As big a win as Leeds United winning a
I'm going to
Premier
clip that
League
up.
game.
Mike, add Mike to shit house.
Yeah, I'm just out. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah,
mate.
good lad.
No.
Jesus Christ, honestly, Mike.
Don't help yourself.
No,
mate.
honestly,
win-win.
I want.
Gary, how do you see it?
I
watched
am
Green
going
Street
for
last night.
a Leeds United 2-1 win in blind faith that we cannot continue to not score goals. I think I've gone 2-1 every prediction this season, actually.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Have I not? Okay.
quite literally. 2-2, 2-0, 4-0, 3-1,
Yeah.
2-0, 6-0,
6-0.
2-1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
got carried
that's
away.
a-
Was that when I went on holiday then?
No,
The
it's an
stream.
England game. England game.
Oh, all right, okay.
So this is the first 2-1 Leeds victory you've actually predicted.
I think it's me that's gone 2-1.
I think 2-0 Leeds. That is my prediction. It was 2-1 at Ellen Road and 2-0 at whatever the shitty stadium's called, London Stadium.
Yeah, what is it?
Olympics.
Bowling ground? Olympic? That old one, isn't it?
Greyhound track, innit?
Ground, old, yeah. Before we move on to our favourite segment, Shoutouts of the Week, which is going to be quite juicy this week, we need to hear from another one of our sponsors, the guys at Manscaped. Looking after your knackers. Mike loves this bit of the show, Mike, doesn't he? Where he gets to talk about male grooming.
So I shy away and then I get into it.
Yeah, you're warm into it, yeah. Join 2 million other male men who have male men
in this room
right now who have joined the revolution and got Manscaped to look after their knackers. So if you go to manscaped.com and when you get to the checkout, if you put in Shavingshutt, you get 20% off and free shipping. You can get yourself a lawnmower 4.0 water resistant, waterproof knacker shaver, nose trimmer, bit of ball deodorant, some knacker toner, all from there, along with a packet of boxer shorts, a t-shirt, which is delightful,
It's a snug t-shirt.
and a little
Wash
bag to keep all your knacker utensils.
Is it real leather?
Debatable, but it looks it.
It looks nice. Yeah, nice travel bag.
Yeah. So a big thanks to those at Manscaped. Get yourself over there. Christmas is coming up. You know, you might want to buy your respective other half a knacker trimmer. So get on board and get 20% off with Shavingshutt at checkout.
I would like to say something nice about them as well. I lost my adapter for the charger. Socket to thing. If you email them, they'll send you one back for free.
That is good effort, though.
Yeah, it's appreciated.
Good customer service.
Shall we do this?
Yeah.
Shit out of the week.
So the shithouse of the week segment, and it's an action-packed bumper edition. Number one nomination, Andrea Radrizzani. Just for let's not.
Wow, is this the first time he's?
And I think he's been in before, but let's just
Definitely
let's just not tweet fans back.
Yeah,
Just don't do
put
that.
your phone down, mate.
Just
put your phone
just
down.
somebody take the login
Rise
off
up.
him and
Rise
take
up.
it away, because all it does is just divides the fan base. We get the people who sit on the he can do what he wants. He's done great things for us, and then we get the others. No, and I sit on either side. He has done great things, but let's not start tweeting fans. It's poor.
Yeah.
This one will become a particular warmth inside. Mel Morris.
I've only included him in it just so we could talk about it. Because got the EFL on strings, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Got the EFL on strings, is the lad.
And the irony of it is, like Mike mentioned beforehand, before we came on air, is while he was moaning about Marcelo sending a prodigy to stand on the path, he was actively cheating the system by selling the stadium back to himself and various other things, circumnavigating FFP and all that type of stuff. So, although it's absolutely terrible for the staff members at Derby, and I do have some sympathy for the fans, not a lot of it, though.
There'll be local businesses,
all that type of stuff.
Because of the CVA and
But
everything like that.
it's actually hilarious that he's been giving it big for so long, him and his mate Jim White, and he's ultimately here now. So he's in there. Next nomination is for FIFA for their punishment of Hungary for their racism again, being fined £158,416 and ordered to play one match behind closed doors for England players who were subject to racist behaviour. Yeah,
That'll show him.
Did we get fined more for that for peering through a
Correct.
fence?
Yeah, we did
From a public football.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Oh well.
We did. Mike Dean Mike Dean for the Dan James tackle, plus Jared Gillette for the VAR ref for the same thing. But he got him promoted because he's in charge of a game this weekend.
He's got his promotion to actually being a match official.
COVID-19 for continuing to make us miss out on the beautiful bastard that is Jack Harrison, but also for continuing to heap devastation and sadness across the world. Ben Tomlinson for consistently sending us pictures of his holiday.
Absolute shit out.
Absolute toss bag. I even had to put my gloves on this morning to cycle to work, and he's out there fucking showing off around pool. But anyway, no, I hope you enjoy yourself, Ben. So, lads, who do we want to give it to? Rads, Mel Morris, FIFA for the pathetic punishment, Mike Dean and Jared Gillette for the Dan James debacle, COVID-19, or our very own brother, Ben Tomlinson.
See, Ben wants it, so I'm not going to give him.
No, don't give Ben. Don't give him what he wants. Do not give him what he wants.
Yeah,
Mike Dean for me, and both of those officials. That's my nomination.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tough one this week.
See,
have we ever had a triple threat in thing? Because
I want to go FIFA, mate.
A part of me wants to give FIFA for the just pathetic nature of the punishment.
Yeah.
Mel Morris just because, it's funny because of what he went on about, and Mike Dean as well for being Mike Dean. He didn't quite blow a kiss at a football, but
yeah, that was brilliant. What was the one in the championship before? He kind of did he do that like a David Brent thing?
What a dickhead!
Yeah, he did that.
Should we get a triple threat? Should we do a triple threat? Let's do a threat.
Yeah.
So this week's shoutouts of the week winners are Mel Morris, FIFA for the poor pathetic punishment of Hungary, and Mike Dean and Jared Gillette for failing to give a penalty. So yeah, that's it. Hope Ben's enjoying his holiday. Unfortunately, he didn't win the award this week. Lads, that brings us to episode 161. A sincere and heartfelt apology to everybody who's had issues technically. It's no idea what's causing it. I can only but apologise, and we'll try and rectify whatever the issue is, but I don't know what the issue is, so I don't know I'm going to rectify it, but we can try. Try. Don't forget, if you attend at a loss this Saturday at 3 o'clock, you can get a ticket to the West Ham game. You can get your botty down here to Ingfield and watch Leeds United, who are flying at the moment, playing Cleethorpes Town live from here at 3 o'clock. Come down, have a beer. They have the scores on the telly in the bar, and you can have a beer and ingest the football at the same time at the side of a pitch,
more than you can do,
which is more than you can do at Ellen Road as well. Yeah, so okay, come down and have a look. Anyway, big thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Again, massive apologies for the technical issues that we have had. We'll attempt to rectify them. Big thanks to you, Lilac Mike, Terrace Mike. More hidden names than I care to remember. A pleasure having you on again, mate.
Good to see
big
you.
Thanks. Nice to see you again, Rank. I've seen you for ages, mate. Hopefully I'll see you again next week. We'll be back next week at the same time, 7:30, down at Ingfield. Remember, you can come down, and it's a double header next week, because while we're down here recording, there's an FA Youth Cup game on the actual football pitch. So you can come down, ingest listening to us talk bollocks, and go out and watch some actual football. What's not to like?
Exactly.
What's not to like? Yeah. And the 23s play Friday night at York, and you can go watch. £9 for adults, £6 for children, I think, or something like that. £6 for adults, £3 for children, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I'll see you there.
See you there.